This is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. We have two events coming up, the Art of Elegance and the Art of Elegance Showdown, which gives you the Bugatti Atlantic, which is one of the lock-ins. Let's talk about this event real quick, and I'm going to give you my quick take on this. As usual, this is an event that is going to involve about 80 races. Starting around race 59, you have to watch for that 300%, which could again help you with making progress in the pro leagues. And then the hurdle races 60, 61, 62 to 64, and then 71, 72, 73, ultimately 79. So I'm sorry, 76 usually applies to the first lock-in, so you want a fast car for that as well. So let's talk about the event itself with lock-ins. Lock-in number one, we don't have to talk a whole lot about. There are a lot of options. Pick something close to maxed. Lock-in number two is when things start to get interesting. Once you get to lock-in number 2 and 3, which seems to have a little lag loading here. Let's see, this event's been kind of buggy when they put new stuff up. Yep, there it is. So lock-in 2 and 3, they basically are two cars only, and they're interchanged between the two lock-ins, either the Mulliner or the AC, and you don't have any other choices. So you got to build this one ultimately, because if you wanted lock-in number 4 and you didn't have the Lamborghini, this will be the one you'll have to use to get the lock-in. So this should be built. The AC is both a milestone and a past PC car. It's a decent car in live as well. Certainly wouldn't hurt my feelings to get it now if I don't have it, but it's not that easy to get it fully built. Now, 2 and 3 being interchangeable means that one of these will be lock-in 2, one will be lock-in 3. Personally, I would probably put the AC in lock-in 2 and the Mulliner in lock-in 3, but I think it doesn't matter. Both of these lock-ins eventually will have a decently tough challenge, but generally in past experience, the speed trap is going to be the key here for the later part. Now, between the two, I think the AC would do the speed traps easier. The Mulliner certainly struggles more, so that's why I'm thinking putting AC in the second lock-in, Mulliner in the third lock-in. Hopefully, it won't get as tough an ultimate speed trap as lock-in number 2. So, again, they're interchangeable, but they're the two you have to use, so they both have to be built. Lock-in number 4 is where either you have the paid FKP 37 CN Lamborghini, or you have to have won the Vanquish Zagato shooting brake. If you don't have either car, you're done. I mean, at this point, you're basically going to be stuck unless you did not yet use a Zonda HP Barchetta, which I already did on the last event. But hey, if you haven't, here's your chance to go ahead and put that car in. Now, the Zagato is not a bad car. If you did get it, you're going to end up building it anyway. I suspect Stage 5 only may not make it for this lock-in, but hey, let's find out how bad it is. This car is actually a very decent car. If you were going to spend anyway, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get this. And this is, again, not going to be a completely worthless car once you get it. It is a usable live racer. It's certainly going to be useful in the showdown, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then ultimately, your final lock-in is either the one-time use of the Expo GTX or the Atlantic Concept, which you have to get from the showdown. And with that, let's go ahead and run over to the showdown, which is the related event to this, and take a look at that. So the showdown, again, these showdowns, you have to get to a certain trophy range to get the car, and you're limited to certain range of cars to use. Now, the Victor is the prize car, right? So if you get to the Victor, then you already have other cars and did not need the Atlantic. No, you must have already gotten the Atlantic before you can race the Victor. So Victor's out. We don't worry about them. The FKP 37 is a 100% boost car for this, and so is the Atlantic. Both are good cars for this showdown because both cars technically are fast and down tunable. So we know that dyno will come into a play in this, so both of these cars are going to play out good. However, I suspect most of us won't have those up front, and therefore we're stuck with the Vanquish, the Zonda, and the Mulliner. Now, and the AC Spider, actually. Now, out of these four, I would avoid the Mulliner the most because it doesn't beat dyno and it doesn't tune to beat dyno. Everything else can at least be tunable, and also the shooting brake doesn't really beat dyno either, although it does have low performance point, high evo. So out of these three that are left, most of us will have the Vanquish as our probably primary choice, followed by the Zonda, and then also some of you may only have the AC. Now the AC may still make it to 1300. I think you will still be able to win the Atlantic with an AC Spider. It's a matter of making sure that it's tuned to beat dyno. Now the AC actually beats dyno by quite a bit anyway, and it can be tuned to beat dyno further. So I think it's definitely a car that you're going to run into quite a lot during this showdown. The problem then is, of course, you don't want to be at the same dyno as everybody else and not be able to beat them. So if you're using AC, you may still have a pretty tough challenge, and the same goes for the Vanquish Zagato. The Zonda has more variety of down tunes, can be in all kinds of lobbies, so that is actually not a bad choice. But I think ultimately, up to 1300, the CN is going to be the easiest. I mean, this one's going to be the easiest to get to 1300, followed probably by that, and this, and that. So that's kind of my take on what's coming in about a day, well, 2 days. And it's going to be kind of messy because both starts together, you're going to have to build one car or the other. And if you're still looking at Pro Leagues as well, understand that you have 2 days, 1 hour left in the season, and you have 1 day, 19 hours for this event. So you can leverage either the championship or this one to try to get as far as you can. But most of us probably that haven't started will jump in somewhere before this ends just to get this thing started. As you can see, I have not started any showdown yet. Okay, so that is my quick take on both the Art of Elegance, which again, the Aston Martin Victor, this is the prize car. Is it a nice car? Sure. Is it something I'm going to really miss out if I don't get it? No. At the end of this whole European series, I will once again do a video on the best cars to come out of the series. And I can tell you, this is a nice and cool car, but it's not something I think is one of the better cars to come out of the series in the end. All right. So that's my quick take on both the Art of Elegance and the related showdown for the Bugatti Atlantic concept. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. You can post them in the comments. I'll try to answer what I can. Or your own comments. Feel free to comment on your thoughts about these events. If you like my videos, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.